everybody. Welcome into the Big House. He is Steve Marik. I'm Zack, Carpenter, coming live from the stadium where Nebraska is still a 30.5-point underdog with an over-under of 49.5. Snow flurries, as you can see, are coming down. The lights are shining. They're on already. They'll probably be on the entire game as this game drifts into the evening with the dark skies hovering over this game with the point spread.
For sure. This is a really, really cool atmosphere, though. The stadium is beautiful, and I can't think of a more Michigan football-y day than with flurries coming and, I don't know, just really gorgeous here is all I can say.
Yeah, this is first experience for you.
Yeah, first time over here. Yeah, I'm really impressed. This is a really cool venue.
Yeah, it's the second time for me, and that was 3 years ago, in 2019, for the Michigan-Ohio State game that I was here. And it was pretty much the exact same type of day with sort of just gray and dreary, and kind of what I expected. For some reason, a day, like looking at the forecast earlier in the week, you kind of expect it to be like this. But I'm not sure if weather will be much of a factor really in the game, because you have a Nebraska offense that maybe it kind of forces them to have to run the ball more, like Mickey Joseph was saying they need to do earlier.
Yeah, be okay with that 3-yard game, that 4-yard game, and move on. That's exactly what Mickey Joseph was probably telling Mark Whipple, so hopefully the offensive coordinator listened, and if it's a poor weather day, maybe that means a little bit more Logan Smothers in the game at quarterback, who knows, but we'll see if Chode Purdy makes his second consecutive start. The team hasn't come out for warm-ups yet, but we'll just see who's taking snaps at the first-team center, Trent Hickson, and go from there. But yeah, you'd like to see, it's just going to be interesting, that situation at quarterback with Casey Thompson out with that right arm injury he suffered against Illinois, and if Logan Smothers is in, maybe that's more of a grind it out, chew clock, make this game a shorter, and don't give a lot of possessions to Michigan's offense, because obviously Blake Corum is gaining some Heisman momentum, and they're just really good. They're a really good team, and so it's going to be a really difficult challenge for Nebraska.
Yeah, it would be a little poetic, wouldn't it, if the weather's what forces Whipple's hand to say, all right, I'm done. I will now start calling more run plays, because one of the key factors of the game, one of the avenues for Nebraska staying competitive and seeing what happens. I keep using that cliche. See what happens if you can keep it within a score or two in the third quarter. Is to get Anthony Grant 25, 30 carries, get that running game going, and control clock, control tempo, churn out yards on the ground like Illinois and Minnesota have done the past 2 weeks. But again, that's what Michigan likes to do. Is control the game with Blake Corum, like you said, averaging touch under 132 rushing yards per game, and could be another Heisman banner day where if Michigan so chooses, I think they could probably rack up the yards for him and help get him to that New York Heisman finalist ceremony.
Yeah, and sticking with the run game on Nebraska's side, obviously Anthony Grant's the guy, but behind who is going to get the backup carries? It could be Gabe Ervin Jr., who Mickey Joseph said was going to be available today. He's been dealing with that turf toe injury, and he's missed the past 4 games, I think. His last game, I think, was against Indiana. So that would be a big help to Nebraska's running back room to get a good, talented backup like Gabe Ervin Jr. back in the game. And then obviously just some notes on defense here. We all know about Miles Farmer. He's been suspended from the team and from this game, and he's not going to be playing. That really hurts Nebraska's defense. He's the second leading tackler. He's been playing really well as kind of like a big safety back there, the quarterback of the defense. So in his place, it could be Fallon Sanford, the walk-on from Dundy County Stratton, and it could be Deshaun Singleton, the first-year player, JUCO product from Hutchinson Community College in Kansas. But also maybe keep an eye on Isaac Gifford. Isaac Gifford has played really well at nickel, but in this situation, you might want a solid tackler, a veteran presence back there. I'm not saying Isaac Gifford's too much of a veteran. He's still a young player, but he's played a lot of football. He's a solid tackler. He came to Nebraska as a safety, then transitioned closer to the line of scrimmage, and has been playing really well at nickel recently. Maybe Isaac Gifford could be a guy that could slide back there for one game and help out at safety. And then if he does that, maybe a guy like Jaden Wright comes in and starts at nickel whenever the Huskers want to put 5 defensive backs out there. So there's a lot of different ways that Bill Busch could go about this. But long story short, not having Miles Farmer is going to hurt. But it was always going to be an uphill battle with this game regardless. So
yeah, and then one final note from Michigan, the rivals Michigan site, Maize and Blue Review. publisher Josh Henschke reported a little bit ago that Michigan will be without starting tight end Luke Schoonemaker.
Yep.
I didn't forget how to pronounce his name.
It's an odd one.
But he's their starting tight end is out. He's second on the team with 30 catches and 315 receiving yards to go along with 2 touchdown catches. So they'll be without him today, but not totally certain or confident that that's going to have too much of an effect on today's outcome. Again, Nebraska's 30.5 point underdog, 49.5 is the over-under. And again, snowy, gray, dreary day.
I want the snow to come down. I don't know about you, but I think it would be a really cool experience to really create a really cool environment, and you never know. Huge underdogs with Nebraska, but you never know. Mickey Joseph's a motivator. He's the leader of men. Maybe something crazy will happen tonight. I don't know.
Yep, that's kind of all you're hoping for. It's not like Michigan, like we said, it's not like they're an unbeatable giant. This isn't Virginia versus Chaminade with Ralph Sampson in the 80s. You know? It's not one of those games where it's just absolutely no chance, but the odds are stacked against Nebraska coming into this one. But that's going to do it for us. The team's going to be arriving soon. They'll be out here on the field for warm-up shortly, and we'll be back here again after the game. Again, 3:30 Eastern, 2:30 Central kickoff on ABC. Keep it tapped into Nebraska.rivals.com and the Inside Nebraska YouTube channel. For Steve Marik, I'm Zack Carpenter. We'll talk to you guys again next time.